Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Buzzing with Brilliant podcasts, where we are sharing extraordinary entrepreneurs, their secrets to success. My name is Mary Gooden. I am a speaker, author, mentor, and publisher. Really, I like to call myself the CEO and founder of my brilliant life. And I help purpose-driven entrepreneurs increase visibility and impact so that they can prosper on purpose. Today and this morning on the show, we are sharing the brilliant Tara Best. Welcome to the show, Tara. Thanks for being here. Share with the audience where you're joining from and a little bit more about who you be.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. And yeah, I'm absolutely delighted to be here. I'm Tara Best. I am an international business and mindset coach, and I'm currently tuning in from my farm in the Cotswolds, which is the southwest of the UK. I am a farmer's wife, but I'm also a #1 best-selling author. I'm a podcast host, I'm a speaker, I'm a coach, I'm a mentor, and I'm a horse and dog mum, which is one of my proudest jobs. And I'm just on a real mission to help business owners create a thriving life and business. It's actually my 9-year anniversary since I first started my first business next week. So June is always such a big packed energy month for me. And over those past 9 years, there have been many highs, many lows, many celebrations, many challenges, and many rock bottom moments and celebratory moments along the way. So I really love to help business owners thrive, not just survive. And yeah, that's the big mission on my heart at the moment.
Yeah, that roller coaster ride of entrepreneurship is what truly makes it extraordinary. I can't think of a better word that really sums it up, but extraordinary. And for those of you that are tuning in, I've read Tara's book. I've read your story. She's got it right here. Yeah, Magnificent Mindsets. And it really is a very thorough story and inspiration of going through these ups and downs to this level of what everyone considers success, which is something different for all of us, wouldn't you
Yeah.
say? I would love for you to share, and I know it's in your book, and I encourage everybody to go out and grab a copy of this book. And as I'm saying that, I hear like there's a second one on the way. It's like in the birthing. But share a little bit, if you would, Tara, about your entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah, so 9 years ago, today was actually my last day as an employee working a job I absolutely hated. So I was a manager in the hospitality sector, and as part of that role, I was responsible for doing a little bit of social media, a little bit of email marketing, a little bit of PR. But I was so unhappy, I can't even tell you. So 9 years ago, through a change of contract and me refusing to sign it, suddenly found myself unemployed. And I had no idea what I was going to do with my life and what I was going to be when I grew up. And I just remember thinking, I never want to be employed ever again. I never want my happiness to be in the hands of somebody else ever again. And I was just suddenly like this, when like a little baby bird first flees the nest and it's flapping around and it's a little bit scared and a bit aloof and it hasn't got a clue what it's doing. That was me 9 years ago tomorrow. And I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know how anything was going to work out. But I have actually met a gentleman who was just setting up a new business. And I very jokingly offered to write him a blog. So, if you need any content, let me know. Happy to write a blog. I'd written about 3 blogs in my life was employed at this point, and he said yes. And he let me write a blog for him. A couple of days later, I was working for him as a journalist. A couple of days after that, I offered to do a social media management. And then that was kind of that first 2015 into 2016 year for me, was being a journalist, being a social media manager, and really just finding my feet again, making lots of mistakes, not knowing what to charge, not knowing how to send an invoice, how to run a business. I didn't know any of these things, but I just thought I'd just keep trying it. Fast forward to 2018, and again, there have been many highs and lows along that way. But 2018, I fell into the world of mindset. Now, if you don't know the UK and you don't know farming, there's a very generalized stereotype in, I'd say, kind of the UK, but kind of also in the farming, like equestrian sector. And that is that we just don't really do mindset, do meditations. We're just not really open to it. It's just not the norm. And I'm all about breaking that now. But in those early days of my mindset journey in 2018, I didn't really know how much it was going to change my life. I just thought, well, my coach is telling me to do this, so I'll just do it. I'll do it to tick the box. I'll do it to tell her I had done it. And going into 2019 and then throughout 2019, it changed the way I saw the world. It changed how I navigated difficult situations. It changed how I managed my emotions when dealing with clients. It's changed how I price myself. It's changed my self-belief. It's changed how I launch things. It has literally changed my life. And I know that's such a massive, bold statement and it sounds so cliche, but it has, and it absolutely has. And now I'm so passionate about helping people understand how their mind actually functions. That was a really big thing for me. And helping people actually take control of what has been holding them back so that they can step into self-belief, so that they can feel more confident and actually create the life and business that they desire from their mindset first.
It's a powerful. And
Yeah.
you hear a lot of controversy on mindset only because it is, I want to use the right words, it is a process.
Oh, yes.
It is a process, and it's almost the process really is saying, I'm taking responsibility for me and my happiness, which is circling back to something you said. I loved how you said it too. Like, I'm no longer going to allow someone else to be responsible for my happiness, somebody else to tell me when I can be or can't be. And I like to call that, as you know, Tara, like, I'm done serving someone else's dream. I
Yeah.
learned a lot and every part of it was valuable, but and then you step into that layer like, oh snap, now
Yeah.
I'm responsible for my reality. But
Yeah.
it's what we desire, and I agree with you 100%. Like, it has to be this work in the mind. There has to be, and I'm saying has to, and I don't use a lot of these words usually, but you have to understand that your mind tells your body and your body responds. I say that a lot in yoga, but it's
Yeah. Yeah.
it's in business, it's in life. I do whatever I say or tell myself to do. So thanks for sharing that. Yeah, I loved reading your book. It's powerful. It's a powerful reminder and a daily part that, wow, I'm going to create my reality today, so I better pay attention to what I'm thinking or saying. I would love to hear your 3 steps. I would love for you to share with us your first step, your first secret, your first piece of wisdom for these extraordinary entrepreneurs, people stepping into entrepreneurship that want those same tips like you got, like, okay, mindset. What's your number one, Tara?
Well, it's funny you say this because when you asked me what my 3 steps were, and I'm so intuitive that I put them on the form and I said, right, no, this is what I want to discuss. And I've no idea what I wrote. I've no idea. So I'm going to tune into my intuition. And for me, I think one of the most important things has to be your self-belief. It absolutely has to be. Everything, whether you're thinking about visibility, writing a book, launching a new product or service, putting your prices up, creating a membership, creating a high ticket offer or a low ticket offer, everything stems from your self-belief. And I think for me, that has been absolutely fundamental to my growth. I've had a massive period of growth, I'd say, over the past 12 months. I mean, gosh, the second book is going to be wild. But everything comes from that belief in yourself. And, that looks different for everybody. For some people, that is having an idea, having that feeling of, oh my gosh, this is the best thing I've ever done, and just acting on that intuition. I'm very much one of those people. I can have an idea at 3 o'clock in the morning and I'll launch it on social media at 9 o'clock in the morning, 6 hours later, and then just be in that energy, be in that vibe, and be able to sell something. But I think for some people, actually, they are a little bit more logical, they're a little bit more analytical. You still need self-belief. Whether you're somebody that can act on intuition or whether you are somebody that can and does need that little bit more time to plan something out, and you want to have all of the pieces aligned and you want to make sure that everything's perfect, you need self-belief. So every single action that you take and create in your business stems from your mind. Offers, products, content, sales, branding, how you show up for your clients, the work that you do, your visibility, everything starts as a thought in your mind, and you have got to have that self-belief. One thing that I always love to share with my clients as well is that there will be days that you don't 100% believe in yourself, but if you can believe in yourself that little bit more than you don't, that's enough. You know, there's days that I'm not 100% full of self-belief, but I'm like, I can be at 60% self-belief, and for me, that's enough. I'm going to take action. Let's go. So I think self-belief is absolutely paramount.
And it was one of the things that you put down. So yes.
That's
Number one. No, this is good. I love it. It's so fun. Number one, self-belief. And I wholeheartedly, I watched the arrow hit the center of the target. We can only receive what we're willing to believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if I don't believe it, I'm not going to see it. I'm not going to embrace it. I'm not going to embody it if I don't believe in it. It's so interesting. So I love that. So write it down, everyone. Number one, self-belief. If you dare to receive, you better start to believe. What is your number two, darling?
I think consistency is really, really important when growing a business. And again, this also comes back to mindset. It's like mindset and strategy, which is like the framework of everything that I do, is like subconscious and strategy. We have got to keep being consistent, and it's really easy to be consistent when it looks like it's working. You know, when you have the inquiries, when you have the sales, when people are liking and commenting, when you have that external evidence and it kind of gives you that validation, it's really easy, going back to step one, it's really easy to believe. And then it's easy to be consistent. The greatest challenge is being consistent, and that can be in your morning routine, in your mindset work, in your personal development, in your yoga, in your exercising, in your content creation, in showing up, whatever this looks like for you. Being consistent when it looks like there's no change, when it looks like there's no results, when it looks like it isn't working, that is absolutely key. That's the point most people pull the plug. You know, they'll be consistent for a while and then they lose the motivation, or they feel deflated because it looks like it isn't working or hasn't worked yet. And that's when they then stop being consistent. I think consistency over time compounds. But again, it goes back to self-belief. Can you hold that self-belief when you're being consistent, when it looks like it isn't happening? And just not let that knock your self-belief. Honestly, there were times last year that I was building my coaching business back up again, having had a couple of challenging times throughout the end of 2022, and it just looked like it wasn't really working. But I kept showing up, kept being consistent, kept launching the offers, kept serving my clients. And then this year, it's like everything has compounded from last year. So you've got to keep being consistent, even when it looks like it isn't happening, because just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it isn't happening. You've given the direction to the universe. The universe is listening, conspiring behind the scenes and trying to think, right, how can we give this fabulous human what they have asked for? And then you just got to keep being consistent with self-belief.
It's so true. There's so much, and I bet you have a journal or something to keep people in this schedule. Because most of it is that. What I have found with this, and you might also reflect too, is that consistency with everything. And it's not, oh my God, I've got to be consistent with my business. I like to call it my brilliance, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. And that is not, you know, you've got to schedule other things in. You have to have consistency with your off time and your ease and your space. You have to have consistency in all the areas that are important to you. And it's a commitment. The commitment to live a life less ordinary and be an entrepreneur is just the same energetic commitment as it would take for you to be a sad three-dimensional human. So just pick one. I guess it's the same energy. Commitment is commitment is commitment. Consistency and commitment to me go hand in hand. But you know, if you're committed to your passion, it does make it easier to be consistent, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. And I think sometimes we can lose the passion. You know, if you lose the passion for a certain type of client, or for a price point you're charging, or for something you used to coach about. You know, I used to coach about PR. I'd coach about Pinterest. I'd coach about SEO and websites. I don't do any of that now because I'm like, actually, I don't enjoy any of those things. I've had training in all of them. I'm like, I don't enjoy those things. So I'm just going to coach on what I absolutely love. And actually, crucially, what I have embodied and what I go through on the daily basis in my coaching business. So I think that passion really, really helps. The other thing to kind of recognize here when it comes to the consistency conversation is what is actually important for building your brand. So for me, consistency, no matter how busy I am, is my morning routine and posting social media content. Those are my two most important things, and obviously serving my clients, but that's like such a priority, I don't even need to remind myself to do it. Those are the most important things. And sometimes that means that I haven't sent an email out to my list, or I haven't yet done my podcast for next week. But I know that the most important things that absolutely compound over time for me is morning routine and content. So again, get really clear on what those things are for you that's going to help move that needle, create impact, and create income in your business, and then be really consistent and hold yourself accountable to those.
Mm-hmm. And I love to circle back about that piece about it's automatic. You're automatically taking care of your clients when you're taking care of yourself and doing the things that being in the things, being with the things, and your consistency that keep your heart open and keep you in that passionate place. You love posting content. I can tell by the way that you post content, the energy that you have behind it. And
Thank you.
these things are important. And so when you're, and this is what I've learned, even just having my daughters, having a business, when I'm anchored into my passion and being consistent about serving myself and ensuring that I'm taking the steps that feel good for me, that I know are putting value out into the world, I'm automatically serving my clients because I'm putting forward the best of me and the example of that.
Yeah.
So,
there's a really great quote, and I can't remember who actually said it, so I can't reference them, but it says something along the lines of give your clients the best of you, not the rest of you. And I remember if we rewind back to the 2020 and 2021 crazy years when we were all stuck at home, I had no boundaries, I had no self-care, I had no time to get away from my house. You know, I work at home, and I was burning out every 3 months, and I just kept getting to the point where I'd have to have a week on the sofa. I'd have to cancel all of my calls. I'd have to let my clients down. And I just remember thinking, like, this is not okay. This isn't the $1 million version of me that's going to behave in this way. I was like, I have to get more strict with myself. And that was a real massive learning, actually, was that actually, you know, my clients are investing their time and their money with me, which means the world. I have to give them the best of me. And I think that's been a real shift and something that I've definitely worked towards, and actually been working towards even more this year as I kind of bring on more clients and serve and support more people. So it's not even it's not even up for negotiation. It's a non-negotiable priority as well.
mm-hmm. Non-negotiables. Yeah, those are so important. Those are so important, I think, especially locking into these two bits of guidance and wisdom that you're sharing: the belief, number one, and the consistency, number two. Non-negotiable parts of being in life. That's what I've learned too. All right, darling. What's your lucky number 3?
Yeah, I can't remember what I wrote down, but what's coming up is when it comes to building your brand, I think the two most important things are your content and your offers. Those are the things that you are going to become known for. They have to be an extension of you. I'm sure you've got many coaches, authors, healers, spiritual practitioners, many mentors, many service-based people in this space, in this group, listening to this podcast. Our offers and our content is an extension of us. So we have got to let that be as us as possible. So I want you to find your voice. I want you to say what you really want to say. I want you to find your tonality, your personality. Let all of these parts of you sprinkle into your personal brand. Because for me, as soon as I stopped trying to fit into some box and create content in a certain way and wear a certain color and have a certain color brand, I was once told it's not professional to have a pink brand. And I listened to that advice for a couple of years. And then I got to one point, can I swear?
Yes. Oh.
And I said, fuck that. That's not okay. And I went more pink and I went more coral, and my brand has felt so me. Like, I live, as you can see, in bright colors. And as soon as I shifted that brand and shifted my content and shifted my offers into something that was just so me, that I loved, everything started to just fall into place. So your content, your brand, your offers, let them be an extension of you. Sprinkle your personality, sprinkle your magic into them, and know that you don't actually have to fit a box. You don't have to, pigeonhole into a certain thing. Create your content your way, show up on social media your way, and build your brand and build your offers in your way. Because when you are being that authentic, you will attract your people. And something really, really, really important to remember, it is as important that you repel people as it is that you attract them. So I will swear all over my Instagram. It's very bright, it's very authentic, it's very to the point, like I'm a no BS kind of person. And some people won't like that, and that's perfect. I want them to find somebody that they are so drawn to, but I want to attract the people that are like, yes, Tara is the one for me.
Mhm. It's so true. This is, the pandemic in itself, the worldwide pandemic in relationships, is when you are standing as your most authentic person in business, in life, in relationships. It's easy, and you will attract and repel. It just brought me right to relationships in general, because we all step into these things pretending. I'm going to pretend like I'm going to use the blue brand color because I'm going to pretend like I like it because that's what such and such says sells. And the longer we keep pretending, the further away our ideal clients get. And the more we find ourselves burnt out in business, because none of it aligns with me or who I am or how I want to show up. And so, boom, like fireworks for number 3. I wish I could get Zoom to do the fireworks. It does it randomly. I want fireworks, but to allow your content and your offers to be you. I love this. I wrote it down. Sprinkle your magic all over your brand.
Yeah. You should love your content. You should love your social media. You should love your offers. Like, I adore my coaching offers so much. It's ridiculous. Like, so much. I'm like, these are the best things on the internet. I genuinely, that's not arrogance. I genuinely believe that. But again, this comes back to the self-belief, and this comes back to consistency, because you've got to believe in yourself enough to be like, okay, well, I am this way. I am this personality. I swear, I like black and white. I like lime green, and go with it. And then be consistent, building the content, building the brand behind the scenes. That's going to compound over time. So you've got self-belief, you've got consistency, you've got a brand that is authentically you. That's going to create success.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to, like, period. We could end right now, and it would.
But we're not going to end right now. In fact, I think one of the biggest struggles that we have in entrepreneurship that keeps us from extraordinary, in case anybody was wondering, is collaborating and aligning with the right support to keep us in that accountability place when we are feeling that need for extra energy and extra support. And I know, Tara, that you have some amazing ways to hold space for people, to invite people into your life, into onto your platform, and help them build these 3 keys: this self-belief, help them build this flow of consistency, and help them see themselves so that they can build their content and offers with a full view of who they are. Don't you? I bet you do.
I do. And you mentioned something so important, that it's so important that we have support. I've got an amazingly supportive husband. He's also got his own business, but he doesn't get growing an online coaching business. He doesn't get what I deal with, the conversations I have with clients. So I actually always feel the need that I need support through a coach, through a mentor, someone I can have these conversations with, someone I can offload to. And I think that really enables me to then take on more clients, support more people, because I've got that support myself as well. I think there was a 1-year period, I think it was March 22 to March 23, where I didn't actually have a coach, and my life basically just dropped off a cliff. Like, everything that could go wrong did. My business basically started again. I just lost so much confidence in myself. And, there were some things that happened that were outside of my control. But I think if I'd had a coach or a mentor throughout that period, I don't think I would have had that massive drop, that massive low again, to then pick myself back up again. So I personally love having that support. I love having a sounding board. I love having somebody that's not emotionally connected to my business, somebody that I can brainstorm with, somebody that can hold me accountable. And I also love being that person for other people as well through the Thrive membership, which is all about thriving in life and business, right the way up to one-to-one coaching and everything in between. You know, I just, like I said, very much in love with all of my offers at the moment, and it feels good. It feels exciting. I love being that person for people. I love seeing things in a slightly different way. I love challenging them. I love supporting them in putting their prices up, attracting new clients, and crucially, thriving in life and business. And I just love it so much.
So could you tell us a little bit more? Is that what you're opening? I know you only have a few spaces open right now. And so are you open to receive a few more people for this Thrive? It's called the Thrive community. Is that right?
Yeah, so the Thrive membership doors are open at the moment. They'll be closing sometime next week around my 9-year anniversary. And this is the most super value way to work with me. It's currently £147 per month, which I think converts to about 170, 180 USD. And it's such a super supportive, expansive space, no matter where you're at, no matter what industry you're in. There's an amazing community. You get group coaching from me. And we've just got the most amazing group of humans in there that are just creating such amazing results. And I think crucially, the thing these people have in common is that they want to build their brand, grow their business, and make money online. And it just feels amazing to do so.
It does. It feels extraordinary when I see your post about it. As I was saying, like you can feel the energy of this thriving community with everything that you share. So gosh, this is wonderful. I'll have links out for that, everyone who's listening. Don't put your pen down yet. I just want to reflect back that Tara has offered some really beautiful keys to success, things that she still uses every single day to continue to grow and learn and create this extraordinary energy, this buzz in businesses, in life. So thank you for showing up for that. It's a process, Tara, and and I've read your story again. Go grab her book, Magnificent Mindset. I'll get some links for that too. To really open up and step into this layer of life that it's different and it takes daily practices, but so completely worth it. I think I heard you say earlier. So completely worth it. So number one, self-belief. Number two is consistency. And number three is aligning your content and your offers with your magic, with your brilliance, with your authenticity. And this is what makes it all extraordinary and easy. Anything else, Tara, that you want to share with the audience before we say goodbye for now?
I have two mottos that I live by. The first is if you don't ask, you don't get. And the second is say yes and figure it out later. My first role as a new business owner was because I asked to write a blog. So if you don't ask, you don't get. And everything I think that I've done so far, I say yes and I'll figure it out later. Speaking, writing a book, being on podcasts, collaborations, before this was much more normal for me, say yes and figure it out later. So I live by those mottos all the time. I think if your audience wanted to adopt them, borrow them, try them on, I'd really love to see the growth that they could have over the next 6 months.
I love them, right? And it's so true. If you don't ask, you don't get. If you're not willing to believe that you can receive it, you're certainly not going to see it. So, and I love that. Say yes. Just say yes. I am a yes person too. In fact, there was something I was contemplating a few weeks ago, and the first thing I heard was, well, if you say no, it's likely it won't happen. So you might as well say yes. I mean,
saying yes then lets you know what you do and don't want to do going forwards. So
it really is,
yeah,
if you only get one shot at this life and this experience and this body and this vibration, just say yes. Well, thank you. Thanks for sharing all your brilliance with us today. I do appreciate it. For those of you that are listening, thanks for listening. I'll have all the links that you need and maybe some that you don't need in the show notes. Remember to find Tara, add her to your community, and watch taking on those quotes. If you don't ask, you don't get. Say yes. And let her know. Let her know how that expands your life, your business, your experience. All right, my darling, thank you so much for being here. I can't wait to share and buzz with you again soon. Bye for now, everyone.